going on, everybody? I wish I had some better news than I do for you right now, at least from my perspective on fishing on Lake Fork. I'm spun a little bit on what I expected to happen with the full moon and the round of fish that really felt should have moved in to spawn that didn't move in, as we talked on Tuesday. But after yesterday and this morning, I'm not quite as confused. Mother Nature is really, really cool. If Mother Nature, meaning the creation and the animals, they know so much more about survival skills than we do as humans. We have all kinds of theories and things that we think, and the weatherman is where I'm going. They make these predictions, and things are just, it's an educated guess. It's not, but not for survival skills. I fish very scientifically, and I believe most of the time, a lot of the science behind it, even hunting, is pretty spot on. We had excellent staging coming to a full moon. Waters were warm trending. Things were right. And I was very confused, as many others, why these fish did not move in. Not just bass, but crappie. They didn't come in to spawn. And as of this morning, when it was 55 degrees with a feels like 46, it was 51, I'm sorry, 51 degrees this morning with a feels like 46 and a high of 55 for the whole day. In fact, a high of 55, 56 for the next 2 or 3 days with a low of 47 tonight. A 3-day cold front. No wonder those fish didn't move in. They normally would have moved in 2 or 3 days before the moon, spawn on the full moon, and if they had done that, the likeliness of their eggs hatching, going into the cold front, etc., is low. It's very low. The fish knew that. The fish knew something we didn't. So now, at least I know why the last, let's say, 5 days have gotten tougher. When the fish didn't make a big push and they didn't make a big move into the backwaters. And, a month ago, God, the backwaters were just bombarded with fish. Carp, everything went crazy. Water temperature warmed up from the low 50s to the high 60s in the backwater. We had 60 degrees in the main lake, 67, 70 in the backwaters. And it was just an embarkment of fish, okay? There were beds everywhere. Well, after the mega bass hit, we had some cold snaps that pulled them out, and we've never got them back. And the cool thing is they're still coming. They're still out there to come. All this does is compile them. And so now I'm going to lean more towards the next new moon and next week's warm trend. As soon as things do come out of this cold front, which commonly, what's the word I want to use? It's very common for us to have this very comically. Right at Easter, we always have a little dusting of snow. Should have known the cold front was coming. A lot of the farmers in Texas say don't plant your stuff until after Easter or it's going to get frostbitten. At least your flowers and things. But here we are with a big rainstorm yesterday. Great elevation of the lake, 401.89, 401.84 yesterday. Still trickling, but it got dirty a little bit. 0 to 1 visibility today. Temperature hasn't changed much, but after tonight and tomorrow and after a 48-hour period of 55, 56 degrees being the high, we're going to lose a little bit of this. I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow or even Saturday we're at 60 degrees. And then the next warm trend starts to come around. We're going to have a bunch of fish. Everything. The crappie are going to explode. The bass are going to really explode. And it's going to be great. So I will tell you a few things that are positive about the lake, and I'm going to break this up for you. The main juice of the lake, meaning east side finger, west side finger, the big bodies parts, and they haven't really spawned. They've come in to spawn. Some fish have spawned. The northern fish have spawned for sure. And like, for example, Little Caney. Up in Little Caney, man, it's still 70 degrees, and there's a lot of post-spawn fish. You get up above the hideaway, and you got post-spawn fish acting like post-spawn fish on the outside edges of the tree lines and grass and points and secondaries, and you can have some success up there. I like to stay in the main body because that's where more of the bigger fish are. I believe I don't go much farther than the hideaway when I'm up Little Caney. So now if you're looking for those bigger fish that haven't spawned in Little Caney, come back out to the mouth. Fish the mouth of Little Caney, the first coves in Little as you're merging up into Little Caney. Fish those first coves. Don't go all the way up. All the way up, you might catch more fish. But are you going to catch those big double digits? Are you going to catch 5 fish in the 8 to 10 pound range? Are you going to run across a big fat sack? Not above the hideaway, no. Pass down from the hideaway, absolutely. The shell beds, the reefs. Remember where Lee Lizzie and that island, he smoked those fish. Those fish are still going to be some pre-spawn and post-spawn big ones right there. That was May when Lee had a mixed bag on top water of post-spawn, pre-spawn fish. So the main bodied fish, east finger, west finger, main core fish, they did not spawn. The fish that run into Little Mustang, Williams, Big Mustang, Dale, Grimes, Taylor, Bell Creeks, things like that, they probably haven't spawned yet. Those are deeper bodied, main bodied fish. So it's good to look forward. We're going to have a big pile. We have a big rush coming. That water temperature comes back. We still haven't really experienced that much of a frog bite. The shad are trying to spawn. Everything's trying. It just Mother Nature's got to cooperate a little bit more. So in honesty, I'm a very honest person. And it's really hard sometimes to say. You have to be very humble. You have to have humility to say what I'm about to say. But the last 4 days of my fishing have been tough and tougher. And today is the first 0 that I've had in a month. I went from a month ago crashing their butt. Brooke and I had sacks. My clients had big sacks for 5 fish to getting less and less and less. In the last 4 days, we've had to work for it. Tuesday was pretty good. Richard and his friend, we had to push till the end of the day. But at the end of the day, grinding, we did catch some good fish. And Richard caught about a 7-pounder. But today was brutal. I canceled that half-day trip. We cut back. North wind blowing, 51 degrees, miserable conditions. We weren't catching fish. And I didn't have any answers on what to go do besides stay the grind. So we cut back to half a day. But that's me being truthful. I tell the truth right here. Still should be throwing the glide baits. Still should be throwing the line through swim baits. Still should be looking for pre-spawn fish that have not come up yet. There's a lot of fish in this lake that are still full of eggs. Don't think that they only try and spawn once in the beginning of March, and that was it. All right, there's a big deal to come. So backwaters, Cincos, backwaters, swim jigs, backwaters. They're going to lose the temperature real quick. The shallow water, cold water sinks, so the shallows, the backwaters are going to get cooled faster than the main body, in fact. So you might even, this weekend, if you're coming out, you might even stick with a little deeper water, 6 to 10 feet on the points, secondary points. Remember when fish pull back out, they pull into channel swings. They pile up in the creek swings again because they're not going to come all the way back. They're just backing up to go back in. So they'll pull off to the first deep water. That's a real simple way to say it. Go fish. You know where those flats are that those fish were about to spawn? Fish the first deep water nearby, and you might run into them. That's all I got for you. Publicly, and honestly, this time, I don't have anything to tell the members here in a little bit. I just don't. Nothing extra special. So, there you go. If you like this, hit the like button. Maybe someone at least hit the like button, how honest I am, okay? Comment below. Still would like to invite you to become a member. Be a member. You get a little bit more details. Normally, you can get a lot more details in how I'm catching the fish. Let's Talk Fishing members. They get a shot at a once a month giveaway package of a value of $150. And then they get the lesson every week, in-depth, detailed lesson that I film every Sunday. And a lot of connections too. The Let's Talk members get a lot of connections and discount codes and things like that to sponsors. But that's it, guys. Lake's in good shape. We're kind of just stalling. The calm before the storm. The lake's about to explode, and we're going to catch them. We're going to catch them really good. So, thanks for watching.